Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, or night, whatever time you're watching this video. And I also hope you had a wonderful week this week. And I'm glad that I'm back. I know I've been away for a while. I finally quit my second job so I can finally spend more time with you guys. And that being said, let's get started with this week's video. Today I have two special guests for the video. They are my little brother, my little sister Melissa, and Oscar. And the reason why I'm going to be using them for the video is because I'm going to be doing a comparison between then to now, meaning the 90s to the era we're living on. I know what you're thinking. How can you do comparisons when you're not old? Well, technically I am older than most people that are born in this era. I was born in the 90s, raised in the 90s, so there is a big difference between kids back then to kids now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give you my personal 5 differences between the kids of the 90s to kids of now. Number 1. Usually when the kids would say, "Mom, can I go and play with my friends?" That meant going outside, playing soccer, playing basketball, playing baseball, with their scooters, with their bikes, I don't know, jump rope. Back then, that's what "Mom, can I go out with my friends" would mean. Nowadays, kids be like, "Ma, can I go out and play with my friends?" And usually they would not literally play outside. They would just do the same thing they were doing at home, but at a friend's house, which would be sitting on their phones, sitting on their iPads, sitting on their computers. So they would just go to the friend's house, knock on the door, they would go inside, and that's all they do. Chill inside with their computers and technology.
Buster, can you play outside? Yes. Can I come in? Yeah, sure.
Number 2, wanting something. Yeah, I know. Every child always wants something, especially if it's shown on TV. But the toys they would show back then to the toys they would show now are way different. Back then it was more of toys that would move on their own with batteries or talk with batteries. Now it's more of video games and really expensive things that they would show on TV for kids to buy. Like, why? Anyways, my point being, back then, if you were at the store, you saw that toy, you would ask your parent, "Hey, can you get me this?" The parent would usually say, "No," or "Maybe next time." Then the kid would be, "Oh, okay." They put it back. They just keep on going with their day. Nowadays, it's "No, put it back next time." And they could be like, "How you never buy me anything?" And they start crying. They start throwing a tantrum. Some kids even curse at their parents because they're not buying anything. "Oh, you never loved me." All that stuff is redonkulous. Trust me, yes it is.
Daddy, can I have this one?
No, not today. We don't have money. Maybe next time, okay?
Okay. Daddy, can I have this one?
No, not today. We don't have money. Maybe next time, okay?
Why can I not have anything? I don't have any toys!
Number 3. Oh, whoa. Got something in my eye. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Number 3, grounding. Yeah, I know, grounding then to grounding now, still the same-ish, except for this much, probably. Back then, if you were grounded, you would just go to your room, cry, maybe fall asleep. After you're calm, you would read a book, write on a notebook, draw. But now it's more about you're grounded, like, whatever. And they would just go to the room, grab their computers, be on Facebook, be on Twitter, taking selfies on their phones, or listening to music. So technically, they're not grounded, except for being in their room without leaving the room, if it makes sense. But that's how grounding has changed within time. Excuse me. Melissa, you're grounded.
Oscar, you're grounded.
Number 4, video games. Yes, video games do change periodically, but in the period of the 90s, games were not as violent as the video games of this little era. Back then, video games were more of fun, fantasy, adventure. Now it's more of shooting, killing, stealing. What? Why? Why can't we have those fun fantasy games? I know there are some fantasy games, but when was the last time you actually saw a kid playing a fantasy game? I do see a lot of people playing fantasy games, but they're not from this era. They're mainly from the back eras. I would be one of them. I do purchase games of this era, which would be more of a fantasy games or adventure games, not much of killing. Maybe my preference? I don't know.
Go.
Number 5, dancing. Yeah, dancing does change periodically also as music does. But I do remember back in the 90s it was more of a having fun, get the groove, snap your fingers and everything's good. Oh, I made a poem or a song or I don't know. Anyways, but that's what it was all about. Just have fun, show your moves. Nowadays it's more of a twerk, 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 twerk. Kids would twerk on people, twerk on things, twerk on upside down. I don't know. They find different ways to twerk or sexually dance, and they're really young. Like, the heck is going on here? I still remember all those fun, I don't know, dance nights that you would do in school, for example. Back then it was more of a, everyone's like separated. All the guys on one side, all the girls on the other side, and they would like, when I asked that girl to dance with my butt, I'm scared. And then the girl would be like, oh my god, like, I really want to dance with someone, but I don't know, nobody asks me. Back then they were like shy. Nowadays the guy would be like, hey baby mama, let's go dance. The girl's like, okay. Or the girl's like, hey. And filling up on the guys and be like, let's dance. Twerk, 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 twerk. And then they start twerking and then they're like slapping butts and stuff. I'm like, kids, you are a kid. You're not an adult. Wait till you grow up. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a comment down below of things you have noticed have changed between the 90s and now. If you're growing up in the 90s, or if you were in the 90s era. And once again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys stay tuned for next week's video. And I'll see you next Friday.